Story 1. 8 years ago, I entered a relationship that felt almost too good to be true. He was attentive, understood me, and I opened up to him far too quickly. This, I now realize, was love bombing. He took me on elaborate dates, like to an uninhabited island for a prepared lunch, and showed me his childhood home, giving me a treasured toy. I was sure he was the one. However, things began to change. He started making cynical comments, flirting with other women to make me jealous, then apologizing and reverting to his loving self. His outbursts worsened, and I felt drained by the constant need to prove my love. One day, I caught him browsing an online dating site. He tried to gaslight me, claiming he wanted to see if I'd get jealous. But I remembered he was bad with computers and had once given me his username and password for a chess site. I tried those credentials on the dating site, and it worked. What I saw broke me. He was not only chatting with other women but had met and slept with them. Worse, he was sharing intimate, dissatisfied details about me. I cried for hours, feeling like everything had been a fake. Something in me snapped, and I decided to get even. I created a fake online dating profile, describing myself just like the women he seemed to prefer. After a few days of chatting, he suggested meeting. I reluctantly agreed to a large coffee house, where I sat disguised, observing him. 10 minutes before the supposed date, I called him from my real phone, asking if we could meet. He lied, saying he had an errand. My heart sank as I watched him enter the coffee house and wait. He fidgeted, looking at every woman who came in. Then, a woman who matched my fake profile's description walked in. He immediately approached her, but she dismissed him. He persisted until she agitatedly told him to leave her alone. He waited another half hour before leaving. That afternoon, through the dating site, I messaged him, claiming I was the woman he'd approached. I said I'd seen him, found him physically unattractive, and lacked the courage to say so directly, hence faking not knowing him. I profusely apologized, and he said it was okay, no hard feelings. But I knew his narcissistic nature meant it wasn't okay. So, I did it again. And again. At least 10 dates went south, some stood up, some rescheduled then cancelled at the last minute. Finally, I decided it was enough. I broke up with him in public, telling him it was over because he was a cheater. He denied everything, trying to gaslight me, painting me as a jealous freak. I just looked at him and said, "All those failed dates? All me." I watched it sink in. He asked how, and I told him his password, then walked away. A few months later, he sent a lengthy email. He admitted what I did was ingenious, that it proved I was the love of his life, and that he'd lost the will for online dating because he both feared and hoped every new woman would be me. I never answered. He still tries to contact me, years later. He has been scarred in the most brilliant way possible, and he deserved it. Story 2. I set my cheating ex-boyfriend up with a bisexual girl and ruined his relationship. Over the summer of 2010 I was engaged to my ex. I was young and dumb, as we've all been I guess. I lived in Europe but visited the States every summer. My mom is from here. So my ex cheated on me all summer and took the girl to my house telling her it was his aunt's house. I got back and I found out everything. He begged me to forgive him and take him back. Not a chance, buddy. So we had this girl in our circle that was bi. She'd always had a crush on me but he definitely had a crush on her. I proposed my plan to this girl after telling her what he'd done to me over the summer. I said that it would be amazing if she got him to fall in love with her then dump him out of nowhere. But she had something so much better in mind. So this is as things unfold. She would console him over our breakup and tell him that things would get better. They got close and started to date. 6 months in he told her he loved her. Such a tool. So she played along. I had a key to his place so me and her went over before he got back from work. He came home to us making out in his bed. He completely freaked out and started shouting insane things that only make sense in the mind of a deranged cheater. He said that I deceived him and some stuff like that. I'm laughing my butt off because dude, you cheated on me while we were engaged, and she just stood there and said, I was never into you, you cheating freak. I wish recording these scenarios was more popular at the time because his face was priceless. I mean, this man cried. Anyway, he stopped hanging around our circle altogether. He recently sent me a friend request on Facebook 15 years later. The audacity is ungodly. I mean, this is just so malicious, but it's so good, so good. A friend request 15 years later, by the way, is absolutely crazy. Like, what are you hoping for there? Absolutely ridiculous. What's so good about the story is that, like, this girl was willing to sacrifice so much of her life just to help OP out. This is an insane sacrifice. Like, I don't know what was going on sexually, but 6 months and surely you've had sex at that point? You just must have done. And she doesn't even like this guy. I mean, I don't know. I suppose you could, because like maybe he's an attractive guy, whatever, and maybe yeah, you're just like, well, I'll do it for the plot. Crazy stuff. I was never into you, you cheating F. So good. Story 3, my ex was emotionally and verbally abusive, manipulative, and a gaslighter throughout our long-distance relationship. When I discovered he was cheating while away at college, it was my final straw. Instead of a dramatic breakup, I wanted him haunted. For months, I quietly gathered receipts. I memorized names of girls he followed, noted locations he popped up on SnapMap. He forgot to turn off his location for everyone but me, and learned about his campus bars and mutuals. I built a detective-like case file. Then came the fun part. I created a fake Instagram account, posing as a frat guy from his school. From this fake account, I texted myself, pretending to be a random stranger offering proof of his cheating. The moment he saw it, he panicked, telling me to block the account. I feigned confusion and hurt. Next, I sent a long message from the fake account, detailing everything, the exact bar he frequented, names of girls, and places only someone stalking him would know. He genuinely spiraled, convinced he was being followed. He fully confessed to all the cheating and even went to campus police. Spoiler, I was never caught, and nothing ever came of his police report. To this day, he still tries to reach out with dramatic apologies and regrets, completely unaware that the random frat bro who exposed him was me the entire time. It was the perfect, clever revenge. Story 4, now for our final story of revenge. Doing small acts of revenge to chip away at my boyfriend's sister's ego. Word of warning, guys, I do apologize, this one doesn't include a cheater, but they're terrible nonetheless. So my boyfriend's sister is a very nasty female dog of a young woman. She treats her mom like trash, yells at her and belittles her. She's honestly mean with everyone in the house, even her own boyfriend. She yells at him every day. Once she also yelled at me, telling me that the bed I bought isn't mine and that I don't own it. Like I freaking bought it, so it's mine. She fiddled with the bed screws, then I firmly asked her to stop and then she went crazy. I also don't like her because she started a fight with her mom the second her mom came home from work. It was my 20th birthday that day, by the way. She's also irresponsible, lazy, and negligent. She gets so drunk when we all go out that she ends up fainting and vomiting all night long. Then my boyfriend and I have to sacrifice our entire time out to watch over her. But she also can't keep a boyfriend longer than 5 months. That's the backstory basically. I thought of many ways to silently get back at her. Then I came across a video on TikTok where you can remove box dye with vitamin C tablets, baking soda, etc. So I took almost 10 small vitamin C tablets and I crushed them up. Finally, after that, I poured it into her shampoo along with some vinegar and salt. She'd been dyeing her hair black for years now. Every time when she'd wash her hair, the dye would come out. I personally think it'll be super funny, hopefully it will work. Any recommendations to get more revenge on her where I won't get caught or suspected of anything? Okay, there we go. Not a cheating story as much, but I suppose it involves a boyfriend's sister and she can't keep hold of a boyfriend because who knows, maybe she might be a cheat as well. Wouldn't put it past her reading all this stuff. Ridiculous. But yeah, great revenge, and hopefully she just never has black hair again and never realizes why. In terms of recommendations, what do you think? Comment down below, guys. Let's end this episode here. But I want to hear your thoughts. What other stuff? Some clever stuff. We've seen some very clever stuff in this episode, and I think that hair dyeing is also a clever one. But yeah, what sort of clever ideas do you have just in general? I suppose, doesn't have to be specific to this story for revenge where you can't get caught like that stalker one, like you're never going to get caught doing that. Arguably even like the online dating one. If you'd not said, you probably wouldn't have got caught because it could have been anybody, who knows. The bisexual girl cheating one, yeah, that's a pretty obvious one. But comment down below, what do you think? What would you do? And also, what do you think is better, revenge where the person doesn't ever find out it's you and you just remain chilling, no suspicions, or revenge that's hard-hitting where they do know it's you and they know that you're the one that has been going out of their way to ruin their life? I don't know, I feel like the payoff is so good when they know it's you, but maybe it's more like calmly satisfying knowing that they're never ever going to know that you're involved. Let me know in the comments down below. Interested to hear your thoughts.